Hello, hello, and welcome, or should I say ho, 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 Christmas cousins. I'm Cousin Chad, and for those of you who are longtime listeners to this show, you'll know this happens often, once in a while, or more often than you'd expect. Cousin Seth is running a little late. Now, I know for certain he was having a meeting with, world leaders of business and things, and he doesn't have internet working on his private jet or something, so he says. So he will be joining shortly, but do not worry. We have fantastic guests today. We are doing something really fun for spring. We're doing a Hallmark Hitch for the Holidays review. And for those of you who are new to the podcast, I'm Cousin Chad. And the whole podcast is a journey of me taking my cousin Seth through the seasons, through the holidays, particularly Christmas, teaching him all about the fun and meeting some great people along the way. And one thing we do here are do Hallmark movie reviews every now and again, although we didn't do one in all of December, which I blame Seth for that as well, because he simply didn't watch them. But we did a number in November. This is our first one back for a while. And it's spring, and the reason we're doing it is I was on the Christmas Aficionados YouTube channel, the Christmas Summit podcast, and we were ranking our 100 top Hallmark movies, not like the big and best known ones, but the underground ones. So our first guest I'm going to introduce, she picked this movie, and here we go, interrupting just as we're rolling. I see Cousin Seth jumps in. He'll be here in a second. Let me introduce, this is a well-known Hallmark reviewer, esteemed. I have said this on air before. I go and I read all the reviews after the movie's fantastic. I'm a big fan. Kacy from at the Heart of Reviews on Instagram and YouTube. Welcome, Kacy. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome back, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Christmas cousins. I think you guys are my number one fans.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Then Lee now has to be my super fan. I think
exactly.
That's how it works.
We can't, Lee has to be without, he could be your number two fan, but that's a great segue because we can introduce, you know him, you love him. He's not the Duke of all super fans. He's not the vicar of all super fans. He is the king of all super fans, Lee. Welcome, Cousin Lee, everybody. This is amazing. Cousin Lee is here.
The king is here.
The king is here. The bagpipes are playing. He has his own bagpipe band. And now here's the fun thing. Lee didn't even necessarily see the movie, but he's here. He's going to represent you, the audience. So if there's something weird, as so often happens in the show, or that's just a question, he's going to point it out. He's going to call it out, and we'll see what happens. Now, Cousin Seth is here in the square. We see the logo. We don't know what's going on, but I love it. He knows. If he's late, it's good. If he's on time, it's good. If he doesn't work his audio, it's good. He can't fail. He fails upwards. That's going to be his autobiography. Cousin Seth failing upwards. Oh, I hear him now. There he is.
The hand.
Nice. So it came in at the perfect time.
Good morning, Seth.
Good morning, Seth.
Hello, everyone. I am sorry about my tardiness.
Seth, as soon as you get on air and your video comes on, I see everyone just smiling. You have this charisma, this vibe about you. How do you do that?
Oh, is that what that is? Is that vibe?
Yes.
I'm actually trying to dim my light so you don't see so much vibe.
You should wear sunglasses at night, Seth.
Oh,
she's so bright is what I'm thinking.
Do something. Wow,
You
that's
should.
too
You're
much
right.
for everyone.
Your charisma's hanging out there, Seth.
That's right, it is. He can't help it.
Nice.
So, Seth, you
Hello,
are here.
Kacy.
Yes.
And I'm Cousin Seth.
And he's Cousin Seth. Seth, you are here just a few minutes late. Two questions for you. Number one, where were you that precipitated this lateness? Was it a big business meeting? Was it, what was going on with Mrs. X? Were you guys flying back from Paris? What happened? An engagement, perhaps?
No engagement. No, I was over at the grandparents' house, or my parents' house, they're sometimes known as. Yes.
Wait a minute. You were at Aunt Marilyn and Uncle Joel's house?
No, I was. Not there anymore. So
okay.
That number is kind of useless right now. Well,
why? Okay, so I just put up on the screen, if you're watching YouTube, Aunt Marilyn and Uncle Joel. That's Seth's parents, of course, my aunt and uncle. Most of their phone number, one digit's missing. You'd have to guess. If you guessed the number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you'd be wrong. If you guessed another number, you'd be right. So, Seth, what is going on with Aunt Mary and Uncle Joe? Is there bad news here? Good news? What's going on?
No.
Are they walking yo-yo? What happened, Seth?
Oh, jeez. No, just to stop by, take care of a couple things, say hi, and I was in the neighborhood. So
what a good son.
Yeah,
what
right. Doing my duty as a good, loyal, devoted son. They've only got one.
That's right. Well, one's enough when it's cousin Seth. Kacy, what do you think
Right.
about that? He's not only he's just such a fantastic guy off air as well. Isn't that impressive?
Yeah, I mean, he's really the number one role model for only children too.
You're
you can
right.
add that to his resume.
I like that number one role model.
Well, isn't that old quote? Integrity is being the same person when the paparazzi aren't around. So.
Yes. That's Plato's invisible ring theory, I believe that is, Seth. It's how you'd act if you were invisible. Kacy, are you an only child as well? Oh, no, Lee is calling. No, you are. Okay. So you do find an inspiration from Seth and how he treats his parents.
Yeah, absolutely, wow. and of failing upward as well. I think we can all use
learn something. Right.
Seth, we said that would be a great title of your autobiography, Failing Upwards with Cousin Seth. Because you can't do anything wrong. You just can't. You're like, I'm late, it's funny. You're on time, it's funny.
Oh, maybe in the context of this show.
Yeah. Well, you've been failing upwards through life as well. You are moving upward.
I've been letting this carry over. I'm just like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I can do this.
Now you are opening your own business starting soon, Kacy. You've heard of this Recharge in South Haven, Michigan, or some called South Haven. He's opening June 5th. Are you going to text yourself and say I'm running 5 minutes late and open late? Or are you going to have me fly in from North Carolina and open? Right. What is your plan, Seth?
Can you cover me till about noon?
Are your opening hours going to have ish in it, like 9-ish?
Right. We're flexible. You have vacation. You should be too.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting summer. I know we're all going to check in live and see how this business is going of Seth's. Normally he has people do his bidding for him.
Yeah, I am taking this all on myself. It's
we're all calculating the distance from our respective homes to South Haven, Michigan. I see everyone.
Right.
I will be there.
Lee will be there.
Well, I know.
I'll only be there if you have Christmas Cousins merch everywhere.
Oh, yeah, Seth.
I'm still waiting on mine.
Yes, Seth.
Right.
Seth, you know what? Besides sending Lee a shirt, you should send a shirt to Kacy as well. She's been on the show like 5 times. She's a huge fan. Come on, Seth.
Sorry, I've been a little distracted, but yes, in fulfilling my Jolly Junior duties, it is something that it comes with the job. So
okay,
I will get those out.
Oh no! So you're saying right now, live on air, you're sending Kacy and Lee Christmas Cousins shirts.
Yeah. So T-shirts. Is everybody okay with that?
Is that okay? Sure. Seth, do you have a time frame for them to expect this? And then we'll get into the movie. But I just want to know, like a month or year or decade.
I'll blow your mind. I will order it and have them shipped this week.
This week?
Yeah.
I will.
This is a new cousin Seth. I'm ambitious. I don't think things through too seriously.
Says the guy who just arrived late for his own show. But yes, I understand that ambition. So
yes.
So Seth, here's the thing. We are going to play a segment to kick off this movie review. Lee invented this segment. Nice. But we're going to do it apropos for this movie. Kacy, if that's okay, we're going to have Seth do this. Seth, give a synopsis of this movie. We're going to do 30 seconds of Seth, uninterrupted, nothing playing, a little background music. Will you give us a synopsis of the movie in 30 seconds? Are you ready? I hope not.
Oh my, there's one like critical detail and I don't, it completely, all right. Yeah, let's go for it.
There it goes. Everybody, 30 seconds of Seth, the synopsis. I couldn't be more excited. Oh my gosh. Here we go, Seth. All right. Here's the movie. Hitch for the Holidays, Hallmark movie 2012 as recommended by Kacy.
So two dejected lovers, fulfilling obligations to their families for having a partner and or spouse and things like that, and the impending doom that's going to come with it. They meet each other through an app of some sort and kind of work out that's mutually beneficial for what they need to keep up this ruse with their families until after the holidays or someone passes, or there's lots of potential in it, but that's it. There's a couple of close calls in that movie.
Kacy, yeah, Lee, what did you think?
I mean, I think he did a great job.
He did. He did.
I mean, we've seen great improvement in the last few episodes where, I mean, Seth's really had it together and he's progressing. They're concise, they're thought out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm dare I say I'm impressed.
Yeah, dare I say I'm disappointed. He's way too cogent.
He's now a business owner, an entrepreneur. He has oomph behind him now.
Right, I have to project myself in a different way.
Kacy, what did you think? If you just didn't know the movie and you heard Seth's synopsis, would you be running to the theaters in 2012 to watch this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially when he's talking about death. I'd be very interested in seeing what that means in a Hallmark movie.
I kept that till the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was your big reveal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was dead the whole time. Seth, that's The Sixth Sense. It's a totally different movie. I think you watched the wrong one. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with a holiday vibes check. Overall feelings. Was this movie as magical as Christmas morning, or was it more like unwrapping socks? Here we go. Kacy, we're going to start with you. So again, you recommended this as one of your top 5 movies, not like the big movies, not Biltmore Christmas and things like that, but your lesser known top 5 movies. So I think we know the answer here. Holiday vibes check, overall feelings. Kacy.
Well, it's kind of a weird one because this movie isn't straightforward. It's not Christmas. It's not Hanukkah. It's like there's a lot of New Year's in it also. But I think it captures the feeling of the whole season and sort of the dejectedness that comes with it sometimes too. So I would say, it's a more like real holiday feeling than perhaps some of the other Hallmark movies.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. So, but right, you're saying not overflowing with the lights and decorations because of the time frame. Okay. Interesting. Lee, did you have something to say? I know you didn't see it. You're representing the audience.
I didn't see it, but I, of course, did a cursory glance. And, what I picked up from this is it's the woe guy from Blossom.
Mm-hmm. Joey Lawrence.
Yeah. Lawrence, brother, I believe. And it's one of my more enjoyable characters from Schitt's Creek, I believe.
Yep.
Who's that?
And
I've never
I
seen
can't remember her name, but the dark-haired girl.
Yeah, she's like Stevie, who runs the inn, like the front desk.
In Schitt's Creek or in? Oh, okay. I've never seen the show.
So. I should not know
it's
more
about
this than you.
Yeah, really. Seth, what? Yes, I'm sorry. Go on.
No. So I saw those two there, and I won't be shocked if this one was a struggle, but I could see how it could be a good one too. So we'll see.
You're right. Okay, I like that. I like that very perceptively. Cousin Seth. Mm-hmm. You did watch the movie, correct?
I did, in its entirety. Absolutely. Wow. Beginning to end.
Yes, very excellent. Okay, he really is growing up, Jolly Junior, right here. I love it.
Yeah,
I like Lee's spelling in the chat. If everyone wants to see, Seth, what was your thought? Holiday vibes overall. Did it fill you with holiday cheer, or leave you feeling like the last stale gingerbread cookie in the tin?
Yeah, like Kacy, I think it did touch on some feelings and things like that around the holidays and kind of worked around some resolution that people were, trying to have by these dates or when they had these big breakups. But I had it set in my head about one angry little cousin would not be happy that the entire movie was setting place in the city or a hospital bed or a hospital room.
Right.
I was just
my two least favorites. Two of my least favorites. Yeah.
Right.
Good call, Seth. Good call.
So it was kind of like, so there was always that thought, I'm like, are they going to leave? Are they going to get out? And the scenes weren't real decorated, littered with a lot of stuff, or at least I didn't pick up on it. I guess maybe I was so entrenched in the story. So, but
Kacy, was this something with the earlier Hallmark ones where they weren't as decorated? Because this was only like 2 years after it was officially Countdown to Christmas in 2012, correct?
Yes. I think it depends a lot on the movie. Because you get like The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, which wasn't technically Countdown to Christmas, but that one has like a lot of Christmas in it, but the characters often comment on that, like it's a big plot point.
Oh, okay.
Whereas this one, I think they saved a lot of the decoration for the Hanukkah, the fake Hanukkah scene. So I think like having sort of more of a lack of decoration makes that part bigger.
Oh, interesting. Seth, you were saying something?
Yeah, no, that would kind of make sense because they do when they have the parents over and they get rid of or they decorate the entire house with, So
in a lot of Joey Lawrence's shows and movies, he's kind of the dumb jock, has to take his shoes off to count to 3. Is that the same character in here, or is it kind of a more serious gig for him?
Kacy, what do you think? Or Seth?
I would say he can make it to 10 probably in this role.
Okay, all right.
This role specifically.
Still has to take the shoes off to get there, though.
He's
Sadly.
an idiot, I think, in a different way in this movie. In that he's just like, he's really stupid with his life. He didn't care about his life. But he also has like a lot of like trauma. They deal a lot with trauma, way more in this than they do in most other Hallmark movies. So he's also working up against that. But yeah, he doesn't come off as like a particularly likable guy for a lot of it.
Yeah, it was interesting because he, I don't know, but he has a good job and everything, and he does well. So I thought it was interesting. I am surprised he's not in more of these. I've actually watched the first part with my wife. She only watched the first couple of segments, but she was saying, I'm surprised, the same thought I had. I'm surprised he's not. That he's not like a big Hallmark star. Is he, one, doing anything else, or has he been in other movies that we would know about? I mean, Hallmark movies?
Not that I can think of, but also I've never been like a Joey Lawrence fan. So honestly, couldn't tell you.
Oh, Seth, you were a huge Joey Lawrence fan, and Joey McIntyre, all the Joeys of the 90s. Do you know, Seth?
I have no idea.
No idea.
I missed out on that little detail.
Whoa. Okay. Did you date Blossom for a while, Seth?
No, but I had a very good friend of mine in high school. No, this is she kind of looked like Blossom a little bit, and I used to give her a hard time, but it was all in loving.
I'm sure she enjoyed it.
You were,
I'm sure
you were
she
in love
it.
back then?
No, we were just friends. We were just friends.
Okay.
She dated some of my other friends, so.
Oh, okay. I'm sure she loved you though secretly, as they all do, Seth. So here's my thoughts on it. So yes, my first thought, Seth. It's funny you pointed that out. I start the movie and I go, this is my cousin Kacy. Doesn't warn me this is a New York City movie, and then we're in a hospital room. But then. I've never had a movie that I simultaneously liked and disliked. I did forget that it was in the city, which was good. I even forgive the hospital scenes because, as I've said before, as Paula Shaw is her name, right? The grandma, Kacy. I think she's the best Hallmark actress there is, probably. So she plays the grandma. Seth, she reminds me a little bit of our own Bubby in the looks and demeanor and everything.
And you're not going to like Bubby. Some of my comments moving forward.
Well, so anyway, but they're out of the city enough, or I guess when they're in the houses, I felt like maybe it was like suburban or something. So I kind of forgot, but it was so strange, the timeline. I'm like, okay, they're going to date throughout the holiday season. And meanwhile, he goes, this is WNYJ, and it's 6 days to New York until Christmas. Then he goes, now it's 2 days to Christmas. I'm like, what? So Hanukkah's late this year. It's going through Christmas like it was last year. So it was like Christmas ended a quarter of the way into the movie, and then we had Hanukkah, then we had New Year's. So it was really lacking Christmas decorations. But I found myself liking it, and then I catch myself. I'm like, no, I don't like this. I don't. It's the city and it's hospitals. There's no decorations. Then I was like, ooh, it's pretty intriguing. So I've never had a movie that I've simultaneously liked and disliked at the same time, and it stuck through the whole thing. Actually, it seemed like not just a made-for-TV movie. It seemed more like a Netflix style rom-com. Did anybody else get that vibe? Like a little higher end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remembered a tidbit. I interviewed the writer of this, Barry Goldstein, on my YouTube. We played my Hallmark board game together, and
this was recently, or
this was last year.
Okay, so on the Heart of Reviews on YouTube, you interviewed him.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And I was very nervous because it was my first one, and I was interviewing one of my favorite screenwriters of this beautiful film. And he said that he originally wrote this to be like a feature film, and had shopped it around. And then Hallmark had pretty much, just started Countdown to Christmas. They hadn't done any Hanukkah movies that I can think of. But most of the producers at that time in Hallmark were Jewish. And so they were like, and I think they'd done Loving Leia at this point, which was a Jewish non-Christmas film or non-Hanukkah film. And so they were like, we want to showcase more stories, which was really fun. And they ended up making this one.
That is fun. And it did encapsulate 3 holidays in one, New Year's, Christmas, and Hanukkah, which is pretty cool. And they even had Kwanzaa menorahs or whatever they're called, the Kwanzaa candle.
Yeah, the Kwanzaa lamps.
Yeah, Kwanzaa lamp. Yeah, at one point, which I thought was funny. So, stocking stuffer moments. What were your favorite parts which made your heart grow 3 sizes Grinch style? Seth, I'm going to have you go first here so you don't just piggyback off Kacy, because I know that's your plan. Lee, you knew he was doing that. So let's see what he comes up with.
Well, I like the scene. That's a very sweet, touching scene when they're lighting the menorah. They're at the family's house, lighting menorah, and he goes, she steps in, she's like supporting him and helping him and leading in the prayer. And then it goes through. It's a nice little scene. You're like, okay, got through it. And then he turns around and blows out the candle. It's just like, I just thought that was funny. But
well, Kacy, before you go, and Seth, I don't mean to cut you off, but I had to say, that was my stocking stuffer moment. Lee, they light the menorah, which you light it and you let the candles burn out all night. Yeah. Joey, who hasn't done Hanukkah before, turns and blows them out like a birthday cake, and I actually laughed out loud. I thought that was so funny of a concept. I was like, that is, I think.
A wish?
Yeah, he should have made a wish. Chat, did I text you? I think I texted you that I actually really
something. There's something funny. You didn't say what it was though. I'm like, holding out on me.
So, Seth, did you have more? Because that was my stocking stuffer moment.
What was the other? In a few, I don't know if they're appropriate. When she's on the the dating app at first, and one of the first messages she gets is from a dude that says, "Want to see my red nose?" Just like
that was it
was just like very typical of. I mean, I obviously haven't received those those messages myself when I was on those apps.
You texted me that earlier, Seth.
All right, well, I just want to. Uplifting.
That is, you're right. That's pretty kind of bawdy, right?
But from what I understand, conversations I've had, that is a very big thing, but it's not a red nose.
So, well, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay, that could be your lump of coal part too. I don't know. Kacy, what was your favorite stocking stuffer moment? And then Lee, we'll get your reactions on the moments, because I want to at the end see if Lee, you're going to go run and see this movie or not. So keep that in the back of your head.
My stocking stuffer moments are going to be really, really out of left field. So mine are the parts that are like kind of sad. So I really love the whole bit with Joey Lawrence's character's mom, and about how her mental health struggles impacted his life.
Okay.
Because I just thought that was crazy for Hallmark to talk about. That was crazy for me to hear at the time. I was 12 watching this movie.
Yeah, you're right, Kacy. They touch on the mental health thing, and he kicks off the movie heavily drinking. So there's a couple subjects you don't see a lot in Hallmark.
Yeah, that was my other one, is the whole bit where he drinks too much at her office party, and she gets mad at him for it. And we deal with casual drinking. We deal with like casual alcoholism, and party culture. And just, things you don't hear a lot of, that I thought they did really well.
Yeah, Lee, at this one, he orders drinks. Yeah, no, go on. But he gets wasted like 5 minutes into the movie, like major red flag.
It's kind of interesting that you bring up the mental health stuff, because especially 13, 14 years ago when this was actually filmed, not a topic of discussion, not a focus in the media, like it is now. So it's kind of interesting that a Hallmark movie would delve that far into it, and a holiday movie nonetheless.
Yeah, and it was about how his mom would like leave them at times and just disappear, and it was dealt with. They weren't villainizing her; they were forgiving her. They were talking through her issues with her. She was feeling guilt, but she was also having to forgive herself and understand why she did it. Just really, really beautiful.
Well, it makes sense, because when you're saying it's not meant for, it wasn't written for Hallmark. It was written to be a feature movie, which would make sense that they would deal with this. But Hallmark bought it and it all kept in, because it was very edgy. Really, for Hallmark, it was super edgy. So that's interesting. Now that we know his motivation was not, I'm writing this for Hallmark, I'll cut this out. I'm writing this for whatever, a rom-com for the big screen. Interesting. Sethy, what were you saying?
Yeah. What was Huck, the coworker? Huck, whatever the guy's name was. At first you're like, okay, he's going to be kind of annoying. Just like pesky, asking out on a date. And I was like, my God, this guy's not letting up. And it was just like, I don't know, didn't borderline harassment, but I sat and watched enough of those videos at work. everybody, right. But yeah, it's, no, it was crazy how, I mean, they see, and I've kind of done this, backwards. I've watched all these Hallmark movies that kind of stick to that kind of format or whatever and have that general feel. But yeah, this definitely had a different feel to it. And it just,
yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, Huck was like a really just big, annoying former boyfriend, I guess, or just liked her, and it was unrequited love.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Then he became a bit of a nuisance, bit of a menace. You're like, all right, dude.
Yeah. Restraining order for Christmas.
Right, exactly.
Were there any kind of deal breaker moments, or just poorly acted, or moments that kind of really turned you guys off?
Well, that's a good segue into our next segment, Lump of Coal, your least favorite part. Excellent timing, Lee. So what scene would be deserve to be banished to the island of misfit toys? What, as Lee said, really turned you off to the movie? Kacy, was there something? I mean, we know where I'm going on this one.
I mean, I don't like... I really don't like how Hallmarky it gets at the end with them riding a police horse through New York City. Like, I remember vividly watching this movie when it first premiered with my parents, and we were like really invested. And then he gets on the horse, and you're all like, "What's happening here? Why is there a horse now?"
Right.
And that part, I mean, I kind of smile at it because it's Hallmark, and it reminds me that, oh yeah, I'm watching a Hallmark movie, but also there were other ways that we could have ended that grand romantic gesture.
Yeah, because they tied in the mother was Leah psychic, and she had visions, but the son was like, this vision's never come true. She goes, well, for this, I see a horse. And meanwhile, she goes away, the love interest goes away in a cab, and then he sees a cop's horse, a New York City policeman's horse, and he jumps on and takes it to track down the cab. How he wasn't shot, movie over, is beyond me.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, boy.
It was wild. Yes, it was like he wrote it, and then they're like, well, we do need the Hallmark ending. So, and he's like, whatever, I'm just going to throw this in 5 minutes and not pay me that much. So interesting. Seth, what was your least favorite part?
I don't know. There were a couple. I overall liked the movie, but there were a couple. First one, the father's pronunciation of Chianti. I know what Chianti. I was just like, just kind of. You're an Italian family. It's just. Right. Oh, well, he didn't look real Italian, but whatever. So, not that I can criticize or I can
cultural appropriation there.
Right. It's not me to deem who is not Italian or has ancestry.
Oh, man, I guess I'll be editing this part out to save you, Seth.
I will say in Seth's favor, Hallmark has been known for doing Jew face and just hiring a bunch of people to play Jews, which is what they did in this movie. Like, I'm pretty sure that Emily Hampshire's not Jewish, then also, or Mary Lou Hatter, although she's always the Jewish mom. And
she's not Jewish because she always plays a Jewish person in Hallmark.
So. Yeah, she always does. But then what's funny is that his whole family, who were very much not Jewish in this, have like all been the Jewish characters in their recent films. The recent films that have been like very well known for great Hanukkah representation, and I'm like, but Paula Shaw was like the very Italian grandmother.
That's funny.
Mom was a very Italian mom. So what's happening?
Yeah, no, so just to touch on Paula Shaw for a second, she's the grandmother in this movie. She's in Picture Perfect Christmas. She's in 5-Star Christmas. I think she has to be, I think, my favorite Hallmark actress. I know, Kacy, you put her on your Hallmark, your Mount Rushmore top 5 actresses. I think she's fantastic. Seth, did she remind you a little of our Bubby?
Yeah, but eerily enough, it was just like throughout the movie, it seemed like they tried to kill her off almost like 3 times. One happened to be.
Didn't you try to kill our Bubby off almost 3 times, Seth? With some of your antics.
I would never do that right after dancing the hora. It's completely the two are juxtaposed to each other.
Yes.
Dad, you said Pauly Shore, right?
Yes, Pauly Shore plays the best grandmother.
That was the grandmother. Okay. It was amazing.
That would have been great.
But yeah, and there was the scene. What was it? Where they get over to Joey Lawrence's. I never learned his name, but they get over to Joey Lawrence's house, the families, and they're sitting on the couch. And I think the father and mother ask, do you want to get up and trim the tree? Which seemed kind of weird that you trim the tree, but you invite someone, and she's like, oh no, I can't. I'm Jewish. Like somehow being Jewish precludes you from drinking or any sort of arborist. Right. Oh no, thank you. I would try that, but
yeah. And in these movies, when they have like Jewish representation, it's as if they've never heard of Christmas. It's like, what do you mean trim the tree? Like, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on.
Why is this tree in here?
Yeah.
Is there a hole in your floor? Why is there a tree inside?
Right.
The only reason why I'm okay with that in this movie is because they are equally as dumbfounded by Hanukkah.
Right.
Like, when they just put the dreidels on the Christmas tree, that part gets me every time.
And he calls them tops.
Hallmark loves, yeah. Hallmark loves just being like, Jews don't know what Christmas is. It's not like it's everywhere. It's not like the video, the DVD that you can get of this movie says Countdown to Christmas on it, despite it being not Christmas.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty wild. So, okay, so what part of, for my least favorite part, by the way, lack of decorations, not enough Christmas, New York City, hospital room. I avoid all that in these movies. I didn't see one, it was no snow. Baby, there was no snow. She heard me yelling, baby. I'm holding my little Chihuahua baby. She was scratching at the door the whole time. A baby heard me yelling the whole time. She was trying to cover her ears because I'm going, where's the snow? Where's the snow? Anyway, baby, we digress.
I'm not talking to you, Seth. I'm talking to the dog.
Oh, thank you.
Don't get jealous, Seth. Don't get jealous. All right, so Santa's weird list. What part of the movie had you questioning if the writers had one too many eggnogs? Baby? Oh, she's falling asleep. This is not good, baby. I better get some.
She's like, a little boost.
Oh, look at her put her head down. She's so cute. Okay, so Seth, you go on this one. Santa's weird list. What was the most ridiculous moments?
Yeah, I mean, the multiple potential deaths of the grandmother. Why you would deceive your grandmother? Be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight. It just in most cases it would not have worked out like that. So it's just like, there you go. Also, the whole again goes back to that dating app thing, but it was like a Craigslist kind of feel, but it was like it was Ricky's list. Yeah, it was just like it just had that same sleaze factor. It's just like
Yeah. So for those of you who didn't see the movie, the grandmother in like 3 or 4 scenes is about to die and miraculously breaks through. So that was a recurring theme in the movie, her near death.
How is she almost dying? Is this like armed robbery, falling from a high place, or what's going on?
It's a combination of Moonstruck and The Proposal, if you've ever seen either of those movies.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like Ronnie's mom, Johnny's mom in Moonstruck, where she's like dying until she finds out they're gonna get married, and then she lives. Then he's like, I can't marry you because then she's gonna die again. Like, they took that plot line, but then also she like pretends to have a heart attack later in the movie, right? To like get them back together. It's like the proposal kind of deal.
Oh, boy.
So she's just like, I don't know, letting herself get very close to death.
Yeah, it was interesting, and that had a sway over why they were fake dating in the first place, because he wanted to grant her wish of introducing him to the girl he was going to marry. There's a lot going on in this movie, actually.
Did it add to the plot line, or were you just like, come on, Grandma?
It did, actually, because that's why they met in the first place, and then she gets so excited they're going to get married that she almost dies, and they're like, but then they have to come clean to her because now she's in the hospital room. So I guess it did, actually. And she's the Meryl Streep of Hallmark, Paula Shaw, so she can pull off anything, even make me watch a hospital room scene in a Christmas movie in spring. I mean, that's a pretty good feat. It was like, I was watching the rest of it today, and it was like 79 and sunny. I'm like, what am I doing watching this right now? But I was doing other things. But
it's really a movie about keeping Grandma alive. It's not about love.
Yeah, God.
Basically. Yeah, actually,
some weekend at Bernie's, and
that would have been awesome if they just carried her throughout.
Propping her up.
Speaking of love, there were a lot of kisses in this movie. They kiss 5 minutes in, they kiss midway through, and then maybe one more, and then at the end, which was, Kacy, this wasn't like, because now in Hallmark they have all the almost kisses, but these were not almost. These were actual kisses.
Yeah, these were real kisses. Back in the day, that was more common in Hallmark. Things, they had, raunchy jokes, they had alcohol, they had a decent amount of kissing. So this wasn't too unusual.
Sounds like our beer episodes, guys.
Exactly. A decent amount of kissing.
The jokes.
That's right. Even involves some near death, so it's pretty spot on. Yeah, for sure. So let's go on to Christmas wish list. What would you change if you could shake the snow globe and reimagine this film? What would you add? Cousin Seth, we're going to you first. What would you add here? Breaking news. You said, like you're surprised that you haven't done this segment before.
Right. These are new questions, right? What would I change about? Reimagined it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked it. It kind of hit everything for me.
I demand answers. Yeah. Seth, let's go.
You can't be evasive.
Thank you, Lee. That's why you're here.
Yeah. Okay, I think it could have been it was a little on the chin. So Jeffrey Cohen, the podiatrist. It's just like, all right. I thought it was going to go the direction of Pretty Woman. It's like he needs a girl named Rosemarie. Like rather than go into this giant, pool of people and try to find. It's like, wait a second, you can hire someone and name. You're Rosemarie for the next 36 hours.
Seth, you sound like you speak from experience. Explain this to me. No. Okay.
I was on Ricky's list, and I happened to end up on the wrong page and whatever.
You see, Kacy, now that Seth's partner, Mrs. X, her whole family's become huge fans of the show, so I think Seth is self-censoring here some stuff. So.
No.
Was the relationship believable, or was it kind of a farce? Like, how did you guys feel when you saw them together on screen?
Kacy, you're shaking your head and thinking. What do you think?
That's a good question. I mean, I saw this at a time when I didn't know who either of these actors were. Like, Joey Lawrence meant nothing to me. So I think I was buying in. And now I watch it and I'm like, okay, it's Joey Lawrence,
Right.
I like the authority that Kacy has there, where Joey Lawrence meant nothing.
I know.
It was so good.
I was very lucky in that I knew nothing. But
very young and influential at that time too. You're like, oh.
No, but also because like nobody's actually Jewish like that. Now I'm like, I don't believe any of that. But at the time, I was into it. They kiss so much, you feel like you gotta.
Yeah. Well, I thought the relationship was pretty solid. Like the fake relationship, you could tell they were liking each other throughout. So I like that aspect of it. It wasn't like some of these fake ones, they get together at the end and you're like, well, the whole movie they didn't interact or have any chemistry. They were a real couple. Like they were really enjoying each other. They spent time together when they didn't have to at the play she took him to. So that was really well done, I thought.
That was a great subplot, too, about her changing the way she writes reviews and opening up to the world. It's a great subplot.
What is her job?
She's a theater critic for a magazine or for a newspaper.
Oh.
Yeah,
but she's very shocked at that.
I am absolutely shocked.
But she's too nice, and she always gives everything 5 stars, even though it's like terrible. And Joey Lawrence convinces her that she's allowed to like say her real opinion, and people won't be mean to her. So she learns to trust herself.
What was Joey's job in the movie?
Art?
He's a graphic designer. Yeah, he does marketing, freelance. But only freelance. It was a big plot point.
Freelance marketing. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he couldn't get it. He couldn't have his wings clipped or something. Seth, why are you so shocked you didn't know what she did?
I don't know. I missed that entire subplot. I was just... I guess I didn't notice that change. I didn't see any change in her.
She meant nothing.
No. I liked her character. I was hearing the story. She's a pivotal character, but
she was literally the female lead. So I say she's pivotal.
That's what they call it.
Okay,
I thought this movie was 19 minutes. It was longer than that.
Wait a second.
Seth saw the kiss at the beginning, and thought it was the kiss at the end, and turned it off. Right, apparently. Right. So, Kacy, does it affect because you write all the reviews of the movies you watch? Do you sometimes feel bad because like now you've interviewed like Russell Hainline, the director or the writer of like the Santa Summit? So in his movie coming up next year, if you didn't like it, it might influence you legitimately.
And it does, and I try my hardest not to think about that. But like there are quite a few producers actors, writers who like follow me now, and like I don't think they're actually reading it, but you
Right.
never know.
Right.
And I do think about that. I mean, I won a trivia contest for Finding Mr. Christmas, and Melissa Peterman, who's the co-host of that, she made me a pillow for Finding Mr. Christmas and sent it to me with like a big gift basket. And
Nice.
I posted about it on my stories. I made a whole thing, and she never reposted it. And I don't know if it's because she didn't see it or if it's because my last post was criticizing the movie that came out of Finding Mr. Christmas, like completely eviscerating it.
Oh no.
I do feel kind of bad about that. But yeah, definitely
Could
like
have been that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you have to be honest with your reviews.
Yeah,
know?
and I mean, when Russell's movie came out, the one that he just sort of like touched on but didn't fully do, the Christmas Under the Stars or whatever that one was called, it was fine. Wasn't my favorite, and so I said that knowing that like he was actively following me and reading my stuff. But I still tried to highlight, here are the things we should look for in it. So I tried to do a best of both worlds.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now that you're getting almost too big for your own reviews, you need a nom de plume, another Instagram where you could do not Kacy's honest review, something like that, and throw people off. A pseudonym, if you will.
Sure. Okay. Just do a close friend story just for my
just
for
the cousins.
Followers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the cousins.
Call it the truth hurts.
That's right. Your closest 40 million followers. That's all. So, okay. Well, what would I change? I think we could guess what I would change. Location. It would take place in the mountains in New England, probably Vermont. The hospital room would be a cabin. She would not be sick. She'd be fine. Or maybe she's sick for a minute. She has a candy cane and she gets better. So that's what I would change, because then it'd be great. And a lot more decorations and more of the Christmas season. So push it back 2 weeks. I don't need New Year's. Have the ultimate part of it. Make it Christmas, not the penultimate part, Christmas. So New Year's. But I do agree, Kacy, earlier on you said they really kind of encompass the whole holiday season. And you do get that vibe of that week between Christmas and New Year. New Year's, the decorations are still up, but it's kind of a slower pace. You did get that in this movie, which was interesting to see, because normally they don't touch on it. So,
yeah, that like liminal week that we all don't know what to do with. Yeah.
Love that week. That's like Seth's whole year, where he doesn't know what day it is, doesn't know, no structure. Yeah.
Aloof to everything.
Yeah, it's going to change, Seth. Recharge, coming to South Haven, June 5th. Opening 8-ish, right, Seth? 8-ish?
8-ish. Yeah, I'll be there nice and early.
Okay. And Seth, you were saying you want customers, but not too many customers where you have a lot to do. So
right. There's recording times, then nap time, Right. It's just me again.
Yeah.
Tired 12 hours.
It was interesting. Seth's opening a new business. The first thing he ordered was a "Be back in 10 minutes" sign. I thought that was interesting, Seth. Only before the espresso machine. So let's go to
5.
You don't put the time, like it's back in 10, but you don't say what time it is. You don't know what 10 minutes is. Let's go to our last segment. Your elf rating, your overall rating. Is it a 5 elf, perfect for the season kind of movie, or a 2 elf? Nah, that might belong in the naughty list. What do we think? Kacy, you brought this movie to our attention. I never heard of it. It's a top one for you. I think I know where we're going with it, but what are you thinking? And did you rewatch it, by the way, right before we did this? Or when was the last time you rewatched it?
I watched it during this holiday season. So I watched it in December.
Was it on, or did you have to find it? Like, was it in rotation?
No, I found it. So my boyfriend, I'm sort of doing a Christmas Cousins. Every time we watch something, I'm like, we're doing a Christmas Cousins thing right now, which is that I am carrying him along because Christmas has not been his thing either.
Interesting.
So I'm showing him all of the wonders of both Christmas and Hallmark. And I thought he would like Hitch for the Holidays. I think I had pneumonia, and I was like, please put on something, and I gave him an option. He said this one looks fun. And he really liked it. He genuinely enjoyed it. Wow. So we spent a lot of time talking about it after we watched that one, because it's so different.
Wait a second. It's not Mrs. X, is it?
Right.
Me and my boyfriend, he doesn't like Christmas.
That would be a twist.
That
would be a plot twist, right?
You never know.
That's right. So,
Like
Kacy,
to announce a new podcast that Kacy and I are working on.
Unmasking Mrs. X. It's like finding Mr. Christmas. Kacy, it's interesting because now we have your dad, I know, is a Christmas Cousins fan, and now your boyfriend is living the Christmas Cousins journey. We may have to have more of your family members on here.
My dad did say hello to cousin Chad and cousin Seth. So
Nice.
he's now cousin Boomer.
Oh, wow.
He would really hate that, but I think it'd be great.
We'd make him feel very warm and welcome. That would be fun if he came on. Or if you want to have your boyfriend on, and we'll do the Christmas Cousins experience where he can try something for the first time, and he can commiserate with Seth, and they could compare notes. Maybe they should do their own show, like a wrap-up show, a Christmas wrap-up show. That's fascinating. So, what would you give this movie rating-wise?
For me, like a 4.5.
Wow, out of 5. Okay. Or out of 100.
Yeah.
Okay. 4.5 out of 5. Okay. Wow, that's a very high rating.
So to me, that says you would seek this movie out. You're not just watching it when it's on. You would actually say, hey, I want to catch this tonight. I'm going to find it.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the ones where, I want to see it, like, if not once a year, at least once every 2 years.
Wow. Okay. Kacy, this is on Hallmark Channel 1. And then Hallmark Movies and Mystery is Picture a Perfect Christmas. Both with Paula Shaw as a grandma. Which one are you going with? Let's see which one.
I'm going to have to say Hitch for the Holidays, but I will switch the channel to watch the kids sneeze his hot chocolate and then flip back.
Nice. Excellent answer. Cousin Seth, what are you giving this one rating?
I'm going to have to go 3.75.
Wow.
I did like the storyline. I did like that it was, a departure from the other Hallmark Christmas movies that I've seen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of Christmas in it, and it didn't give a ton of Christmas feel. So,
you know what I'm laughing about, Seth? And you just said that as you're saying something. You said "I say," and then you said it's very much like who's that character that's on he was a cartoon like a chicken. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Foghorn Leghorn.
I'll say.
Before you said what you're going to say, you said, I say. That's a great verbal tick, Seth. I love that.
Oh, no. Thank you. And thank you for identifying it. I appreciate that. I'll add that into my hand washing routine and then checking the stove every 6 hours.
Get self-conscious about that tick you have now, Seth.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Seth. Well, we did have one episode where I counted the times Seth said and things like that. Do you remember that, Seth? That was a great one. So we'll have to. I'll say.
No.
Oh, that's what I'm here for, Seth. Point out your foibles and make you aware of them.
Well, it's not. There's something to be said about it. Dressing them and having them thrown in your face and having no other choice.
You do say, Seth. You do say.
I do say.
So 3.75 and a 4.5.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to give this one. This was tough for me because I did like it as a movie. Would I ever watch it again? No, I would not ever watch it again. There's not Christmas vibes in it, and I know what's going on. So it's just a movie. And to me, I don't really like movies. I like Christmas movies, but other movies I just don't like that much. I don't know why. Weird. I know that's weird. But it works for this podcast. So for me, it was good, though. It was got good quality, good writing. It's good for a movie. But for a Hallmark Christmas movie, I'll give it, because there's Paula Shaw as the grandma in it. I'm giving it I think I'm giving it I'll give it a 2.75. That's not terrible. Not terrible.
What I'm hearing is that we're breaking through your Christmas movie prejudices.
Interesting. With the city. Okay. I did like the one that took place.
Experience other things.
That's true. The one that took place in Philly this year with the ER people. Everything I hate about these, and I like that movie actually. So maybe I'm growing.
The one that you said was going to be the worst of the season, and that movie was beautiful.
Yeah, it was good. But would I rewatch it? No, I wouldn't rewatch it. But would I rewatch Small Town Christmas? Probably tonight. I will rewatch that. So yeah, I would, because that's what I'm there for. Not any realism. So Lee, the final rating. Okay, here's what we need to know. So you didn't watch it, but you heard all the reviews from experts. What is your thought? Would you watch this or would you not watch this now?
Well, here's the predicament.
Okay.
You guys have given me nothing to work from. So Chad has set this out to see the burn. This is actually the first Christmas movie Seth has actually watched start to finish, so I can't put a lot of weight in there.
Possibly.
And I kind of trust Kacy here a little bit.
Okay, right.
So Chad didn't hate it. Seth thought it was okay, and Kacy's in. So what I'm going to do is add it to my list. I have horrible handwriting of all the Christmas movies I need to watch this calendar year, including 5-Star Christmas, Most Wonderful Time of the Year, 9 Lives of Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm going to add it to my list here.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so those are, what else do you have on there? Picture a Perfect Christmas, The Christmas Cottage, Miss Christmas, Small Town Christmas. Those are what's known in the canon, the Citizen Candy Cane of Hallmark movies, I believe.
The
like
Christmas Ornament,
candy cane.
the Santa Summons, the
Santa Summit. Santa Summons is very different.
Right. He goes to jail.
That is awesome.
That is a Hallmark movie, though. There is a Hallmark movie where Santa goes to jail and he has to go to court. Yeah,
What's that called?
Oh God, let me find it. I think it's the Santa suit, but like suit as in lawsuit.
That's funny. Yeah, Seth, we're not watching that. Don't worry.
That's interesting.
Santa goes to divorce court. It's not
Is that a Hallmark movie or is that like an HBO late night?
Well, it was a Hallmark movie. It was crazy.
It's Gilbert Godfrey hosts it.
Santa with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth.
Yeah. Well, so this is fantastic. We covered it. It is like, it's closer to Memorial Day than it is to Christmas, which is awesome to cover a movie. I was fascinated. Kacy, thank you for bringing it to our attention and joining us as always as a returning guest, one of the top cousin guests. The audience loves you.
Absolutely.
Listen to that. Listen to that. Check out Kacy at the Heart of Reviews on Instagram and YouTube. Kacy, before we go, is there anything big coming up on your channels that we should be looking for? Do you cover these shows or do you take this time of year off? Do you cover like spring and summer movies?
Only really on my stories. If I'm so inclined. I watch not all of them. I watch most of them. I've really been liking the TV shows. But no, I probably won't be very active until the next season rolls around. But I don't know, Christmas in July, you might see some good movies, and I might have to do some reviews. And then once Finding Mr. Christmas starts again, so I'll be around. Also, I did lie. There's also the Santa jail one is The Case for Christmas.
Oh, The
with
Case
Dean
for
Cain.
Christmas. Oh, really? With Dean Cain?
Santa caught a case.
That's funny. Yeah, that is funny. Dean with Superman.
Kacy,
Awesome.
what's your Christmas movie? What's your number one every year?
My number one every year is Christmas with Holly. That's
I never saw it.
I haven't either.
Okay. Real quick.
Really?
Gotta give the pitch specifically for Chad. It takes place not in Vermont, but in the Pacific Northwest on a little island outside of Seattle.
Like that?
Yep. It's gorgeous. It does not snow. So I'll let you know.
Thanks for the warning. Okay.
Yep. But it's like beautiful small town.
Is it Bainbridge Island? Is that the island?
No, it's Friday Harbor.
Ooh,
and it's about a little girl who's an orphan and she can't speak because it's sad because she can't speak. But then we get a whole like 3 wise men kind of deal because she's being raised by her 3 uncles who are all kind of, I don't know, messy. And one of them has to learn about Christmas. So
interesting.
I don't know. I think you might enjoy it.
Wow. Okay, so there's a little bit of a Christmas Cousins vibe there.
Yep.
And Seth can't speak either. I mean, sometimes, but this is excellent. Sorry, Seth. I mean, she set that up. That was really not nice, Kacy. You setting that one. Yeah, really. I mean, come on. What was I going to do for that one? Okay, we'll have to maybe check that one out. Christmas with Holly. Okay, I like it. Okay.
Yeah. There is also one, not one of my favorites, but I want to say
she can't see or hear. Is that what this was? The next one?
Seth was talking earlier about Pretty Woman, and there is one with fake dating where specifically she hires someone on Craigslist and is like, "Your name is now the name of my ex-boyfriend," and like they do the whole Pretty Woman thing. Holiday Engagement. It's mostly a Thanksgiving film, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
Don't worry, Seth. We're not covering it, so you're safe on that one. So everybody, check out Kacy at the Heart of Reviews on Instagram and YouTube. It's fantastic, especially once we get into season. It's really great. And cousin Seth, check him out. June 5th, Recharge South Haven, which the mayor is renaming Seth Haven. Check out King of all super fans in and around the Pittsburgh area. He's very tall and handsome. If you see someone tall and handsome in Pittsburgh, say hi, Lee. That's all. If it's not him, just keep walking. So you can check us out, Christmas Cousins Pod at gmail.com. You could email us. Seth won't reply, but I will. If it's bad, Seth will never see it. If it's a nice email, Seth will see it. I keep things from you, Seth.
You need to be showered in the praise.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also check us out at Christmas Cousins Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and we're even on Blue Sky, Seth tells me, but I haven't seen it. I'm sure he's very active on it.
We've got a nice little, everything that, it's replicates or mirrors everything else that we put out there.
Oh, okay. So, very good. Okay, good. So check us out on Blue Sky. What are we on Blue Sky? Christmas Cousins Pod?
Yeah. That's it.
I like it. Consistent. Look at you, Seth. Running it. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, crowd, for showing up for a Christmas movie review. I mean, that's amazing. Hundreds of people in the audience. Mm-hmm. And Seth, you ready? I'm Cousin Chad.
And I'm Cousin Seth.
Yeah.
Yes.
See ya.